The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Aaron Rodgers is officially a Pittsburgh Steeler. Is Alan Lazard going to be joining him next? We'll get into the latest on that and much more Jets news. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, here on a Friday. Welcome in, everybody. Stop what you're doing and click the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have some exciting news for those of you who intend to join us for Jets-Panthers, our second annual group buy. We will be in section 129. Originally, we secured 45 field passes from the Jets. Now we're up to 75 field passes. So if you want to join me, Nick Shine, and your fellow Asmaniacs for a tailgate before the game and a group ticket buy in section 129 for the actual game and a post-game photo on the field, of course, after the game. Lock in your ticket. 1 week from today is the deadline, so lock in your spot. The first 75 people now are guaranteed a field pass. We were able to get more, so if you want to join us, click the link in the description and buy your ticket immediately to guarantee your spot. With that said, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. By now, everyone knows he has officially signed a deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And really, the question I think you now ponder is, okay, we know the Jets and Steelers are playing week one. We know that there's going to be a lot made of that game. Aaron actually did, I think, all of us a favor by waiting as long as he did to sign with Pittsburgh, because this game would have been in prime time if he hadn't. The head of the NFL schedule basically said that, yeah, they knew Rodgers was definitely going to be a Steeler, they would have thrown that one in primetime. So we know they put this matchup together on purpose for some week one buzz, but I don't want to say it's buried in the 1 o'clock window because it's still a marquee game, but it's not going to be as much hype and hoopla surrounding it there. That would be the case if, they had Aaron Rodgers and the Jets facing off Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football week one. So I think the question now is, what happens with Alan Lazard? Does Alan Lazard get traded? Right? We all know Aaron Rodgers and Alan Lazard had that relationship. Pittsburgh was reportedly in the market for a veteran receiver. To me, it makes a lot of sense. And that, I think, is the next thing to look at. Would Pittsburgh call the Jets about Lazard? Would the Jets want to help the Steelers and trade Lazard? We know they redid his contract. Do the Jets look at it from the standpoint of, well, we don't want to just give him away for nothing. We actually think he could help us as a blocker. I have some doubts about that. I'd rather play a younger player and let those reps go to other players than Lazard. I've already seen what it looks like without Rodgers. I mean, the Jets are not winning this year with or without Alan Lazard. If I could get even a 6th-round pick, I mean, to me, that makes sense. You have Josh Reynolds, who's also a good blocker. You got Garrett Wilson. You got some other guys you want to see. Maybe get some reps here. So I would look to move him. The question is, will the Jets actually move him, and can they get anything for him? He's definitely more tradable now after agreeing to the pay cut. So we shall see. Joining us right now in his weekly spot on the show is Jets beat reporter for Athlon Sports and JetsXFactor.com, Nick Faria. Nick, happy Friday, my friend. Welcome to the show.
Happy Friday. Apologies for the lateness. Back at it, ready to roll.
You ready to roll? All right, Aaron Rodgers is ready to roll. You had this tweet yesterday. You tweeted, I think there's a better chance Justin Fields will have a better revenge game week one than Aaron Rodgers does against the Jets defense. Does that mean you think the Jets will win week one?
That's been my prediction when it started. I think the Jets do have a solid matchup overall. They've got the offensive firepower to keep up with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh doesn't really have a lot going forward with them. They've got questions along the offensive line. Their defense is a lot older. Obviously, injuries in training camp could certainly change that conversation. But as it stands right now, which quarterback has more to be angry about for their departure? Justin Fields from Pittsburgh or Aaron Rodgers in New York? In New York, the Jets rolled out the red carpet for him. They did everything they possibly could to make Aaron Rodgers comfortable, everything they could to make him a viable starting quarterback, a franchise quarterback for them at the age of 40, and it didn't work out. All reasons aside, it didn't work out. That doesn't mean that the Jets were wrong to go after him. It doesn't mean they were wrong to curtail to his needs and demands. It just means it didn't work out. So in Aaron's perspective, he can get angry all he wants about, well, they didn't really want me. They took me on a flight and we had a 15-minute conversation. They clearly didn't want me there. That kind of sucked, whatever. Or you look at it from Justin Fields' perspective, who was 4-2 as a starting quarterback. He wasn't great, wasn't lighting the world on fire, but 4-2 as a starter is still 4-2, and then was benched for Russell Wilson. And once it was recognized that Russell Wilson is not really that much better than Justin Fields, he only averaged about 1 to 2 points per game more, Pittsburgh did not go back to him. So to me, Justin Fields has more to be pissed off about than Aaron Rodgers, and that's why I think it's a better revenge game for him, more so than the 4-time NFL MVP.
I just think the most Jet-like thing to happen, besides him getting hurt on the fourth play of his debut, is for him to come back and win week 1. He might not be great this year, we'll see. I think he's still capable of being a competent NFL starter. The coaching is certainly going to be way better than what he had with the Jets last year. Even the biggest Rodgers haters out there have to acknowledge that with Tomlin. But the question is, we know he's capable of putting together a great game or two. His last game as a Jet, he threw 4 touchdowns and was running all over the field against Miami. That's my concern as a cynical Jet fan, that, here we go, Rodgers is back, and he's going to come into MetLife and play great. I think Aaron Glenn, if he wants to win over a lot of fans, I think if he wants to push back on the Jet karma that is basically engulfed this franchise, I think week 1's a really big one for the Jets.
It's absolutely a big one for the fan base in general. And as you mentioned, for Aaron Glenn to sort of help himself build some cash with the rest of the fan base. Absolutely. But to me, the one calling card of why the Jets should have kept Rodgers is because he played well down the stretch. You look at the overall numbers, and there were improvements from the beginning of the season. And you talk to a lot of doctors, they will always say the first year coming off an Achilles, coming off major surgery in the lower body, is that it takes a full year. It takes a full year to get back to 100%, to back to where you were pre-injury. Now, Aaron Rodgers is 41, 42 years old. This is not some 30-year-old guy coming off an injury. This is not some 27-year-old coming off an injury. There are legitimate concerns for him going into Pittsburgh. They've got a great number 1 receiver. They've got a good tight end. The offensive line, as I mentioned, is going to be rusty. But he's also coming into a situation where he is going to have to sort of meld himself and mold himself into Pittsburgh's offense. Arthur Smith is not necessarily the perfect fit for what Aaron Rodgers does as a quarterback. So it will be interesting to see how that works, how they gel. They may not be on the same page to begin the season. Then it comes down to, as we talked about, Justin Fields. Can he play good enough football to help the Jets win on most Sundays? Week 1 is a perfect test. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not some barn burner team that you have to put up 40 points against. It's about playing competent football, not turning the ball over, and putting yourself in a position to succeed. If Justin Fields can do that, if Aaron Glenn can get this defense to do that as well, I think the Jets will be able to win pretty handily.
Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't even have time to set the stage for what we're going to be raffling away during the show before Rick Kent just dropped a 20 spot of channel memberships. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm putting my helmet on here because I got to get ready to read some names. But before I do that, I would like to first let everyone know that a little programming announcement here. I'm live right now. I'll be live this afternoon. Barring crazy Jet news, I'm not planning on having a Saturday or a Sunday show. So for the remainder of this show and the show this afternoon, all channel memberships are +2. So we're boosting memberships to make up for the fact that there's not a Saturday or a Sunday show. So Rick, you are in for 22 raffle tickets. Now, I also want to share with everyone out there that at the end of this show, I'm going to raffle away a Justin Fields jersey. I want some good karma. Everyone's talking about Rodgers versus the Jets. Well, how about we rally around our new starting quarterback, Justin Fields? One lucky Asmaniac will get a Justin Fields jersey mailed to them after the show today. So to be in this daily raffle, you got to gift memberships. Rick Kent just did that. He is in for 22. And with that said, I got 22 names to read, and then we'll talk about more about Rodgers and specifically Alan Lazard. Ryan, Michael Palermo, Jets mess. Andrew Kemp, JC716, Red John, Jason Del Monte, Your Mama's Panties Crusty, Kilo 112, Cynthia W, James Rouse, Mike Cruiser, Jamie G, AJ Driscoll, NY Jets 8, Winston Grant, Julian Vasquez, Kenneth N, all receiving channel memberships. That didn't sound like 20. I feel like I missed some names here. I could be wrong. But either way, Rick, thank you as always for your support. Let's give some love to Mr. Pacer himself, his team last night with Devil Magic to win another ridiculous game that they led for 0.3 seconds. Indy Jets gifting 1. It's +2. It's actually 3. Indy, your membership went to Dawn Marie. That is the name of the YouTube member who got the membership. Okay, with that said, helmet is so big. With that said, Nick, let's talk about Alan Lazard. Do you anticipate Alan Lazard being on the 2025 Jets, or do you think now with Rodgers officially signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he's going to be dealt?
There's always going to be those ties like, hey, this could happen with Rodgers being in Pittsburgh. A trade could eventually work. But the Jets don't have to make that agreement if they aren't getting the kind of value they want back for a player like that. Remember, Tanner Engstrand, Aaron Glenn, they've talked about their receiving core. They want those guys to be able to block. And all the problems with Alan Lazard aside, he is a pretty solid run blocker that should be able to help his case on why he is going to be on the Jets roster for 2025. So as of right now, the way things stand, I do believe that New York has plans to keep Lazard on the roster moving forward. Pittsburgh is going to look elsewhere around the league. They've already talked with Gabe Davis. I'm sure there's going to be multiple other receivers that could be talked to along this time as well. So to me, I think Alan Lazard is going to stay a Jet. There's just really no market to at least get a quality draft pick for the Jets if they want to move him. The only reason why they would want to move him is to make Aaron Rodgers happy, and there's absolutely no incentive to do that anymore.
I mean, if they want to make Aaron Rodgers happy, they also maybe need a veteran receiver, though. And like Lazard already knowing Rodgers' tendencies might pay off early when the other guys on the team don't know that, and they're still getting used to him throwing him the ball. So I could see it. I just don't know what the Jets would be willing to trade Lazard if they actually view him as part of their plans because of his blocking ability.
And that's the thing. You look at him as a blocker. Can he be a dependable wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4, maybe even compete for wide receiver 2? It's too early to tell what he looks like in this offense. From what I've seen in practice, he's running routes. He's catching the football consistently. Let's wait to see what the pad's on and see what he can do in that regard. But, it's just, if an injury happens to a guy like Calvin Austin, then I think Pittsburgh could be a little bit more desperate. But they do have a number of different receivers. Roman Wilson's another one that they want to see develop with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. That's why I don't think they're willing to trade for a guy like Lazard right away. Let's see what that young core looks like in Pittsburgh, see if they have anything there. And if they don't, then Lazard could absolutely be a training camp trade or a potential move near the deadline.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Nick Faria with us in his weekly spot as we talk about the fallout from Aaron Rodgers officially joining the Steelers. No one's surprised. It just played out the way it did as long as it took. I think 80 days after free agency officially started yesterday. He officially signed. So Rodgers versus the Jets, Fields versus the Steelers, week 1. Man with a Rake wants to know, and Man with a Rake, your $10 super chat is boosted +2 today. So normally this will get you 2 raffle tickets. Today it gets you 4. Can you recall another QB swap like the Pittsburgh game? Strange situation. It's never happened before. Rich Cimini had the nugget that this is the first time in NFL history that the starting quarterbacks for the teams facing off in week 1 were the starting quarterbacks for the previous team that they're facing. So this is truly a one-of-one situation here. And why, as a Jet fan, I am terrified of it being an SOJ scenario where Rodgers comes back and beats the Jets.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and say that that's impossible, because with Rodgers, no one knows. You flip a coin. And Pittsburgh, like I said, does have quality offensive weapons. The Metcalf-Rodgers duo is going to be really interesting, because Metcalf's a Pro Bowl player, big body receiver that you think would work really well with a guy with a big arm like Rodgers. But is he the same quarterback? That's going to be the main question. He's not going to have a full offseason of workouts. He's essentially skipping voluntary workouts to get to minicamp and all that. But I do want to say, and I think this is very important as well, no matter what happens in week 1, it's one game. The season for the Jets does not end even if they were to lose to Rodgers. If they beat Rodgers at MetLife Stadium, they've got a full season ahead of them. They have winnable games down the stretch as well. So
they play the Bills week 2, so that could be 0-2 real quick.
It absolutely could. But if we're talking about improving from an organization, if they get to 7-8 wins, that doesn't necessarily mean that an 0-2 start deters them from that. All it does is just makes the job a little bit harder. So I think the big thing here is the expectations of this team. What are the expectations for Aaron Glenn in year 1? Is it to make the playoffs? Is it to get to 500? Once we have that legitimate understanding of what these expectations are, I think then you can sort of look at some of these games and say, these are can't lose games. You can't lose these kind of contests. Jets fans may want desperately to be able to beat Pittsburgh and show it to Rodgers that he was a big part of the problem over the last couple of years, but we just don't know at this point. If they lose to Pittsburgh and start 0-2, but finish 8-9 or 9-8, is this season a failure because they didn't beat Rodgers? Of course not. It's just a matter of, it depends on where you expect the Jets to be come December of this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat from Rasta Dread. Get me in that Fields jersey, baby. At the end of the show, we're doing a daily raffle. I'm doing my part. I'm terrified of the week 1 result being Rodgers slicing up Aaron Glenn's defense, but I'm doing my part here. We're backing our new guy, Justin Fields jersey. If you win it, you got to email me an address and your size so I know where to send it and which one to get. But a Justin Fields jersey, we will give that away at the end of the show. Let me remind people as well that our weekly raffle prizes, we're gonna not do the raffle Monday because I'm not doing weekend shows, so we'll probably target at some point late next week to do it. But we're giving away, only for the second time in the history of the show, a full-sized Broadway Joe helmet. You see the picture on the right? I tried to find a photo that matches the look of the helmet that you're going to be getting. So full-sized Broadway Joe helmet is our top prize in our weekly raffle, our 28th raffle since December 1st. While Clyde Frazier jersey is prize number 2. Signed Kevin Mawai Hall of Fame inscription jersey, prize 3. And last but certainly not least, signed Bart Scott jersey. So all these items come with certificates of authentication, so you know it is the real deal. Speaking of the real deal, Anthony has gifted 10 channel memberships. Normally, it's 10 raffle tickets. Today, all memberships are boosted by 2. Anthony, this is for you.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Let's shout out Anthony's memberships. Here's who they went to: Jake, C Nasty 518, Will Collins, Diano, Johnny 451, B Cole, Mike Ferrero, Zach Holmes, Kick-Ass Jets, and Doughy Joey. Speaking of Doughy, it's National Donut Day, Nick. Will you be going to your favorite donut establishment to celebrate the holiday?
Yeah, call me a New Englander all you want. I always love going to Dunkin' Donuts. Double chocolate donuts, in my opinion, are the best. I just might. I didn't even know it was Donut Day. So this is fantastic.
You're welcome. Your job is to give us information. I'm happy to return the favor. It's National Donut Day, and if you go to Dunkin', by the way, I think with the purchase of a coffee, you get a free donut. I believe that's the deal.
I don't drink coffee, so that's unfortunate.
You don't drink coffee? What do you do for caffeine? Anything?
Soda. It's a big problem of mine. I'm a big soda drinker.
Wow. Good for you. I rely on coffee. Mike Dems, he is in our raffle for 3 boosted membership. Mike, thank you very much. Shout out to John. He's submitting a $50 super chat here. Yeah.
We are mama way.
He says, I find it hard to be scared of Pittsburgh's offense, even with Rodgers. Expect Sauce to trail with DK and not much else. Let me say this, and the Jets seemingly are trying to get something done with Sauce. Jeremy Fowler reported on this show, shout out to Connor Long, a week ago, that initial offers to both Sauce and Garrett were made. With that said, that tells me that they obviously value Sauce. Glenn has said that he has all the talent to be the best corner in the NFL. I would like to see Sauce travel a lot more this year. This feels like to me, hey, Sauce, your job is to make sure DK Metcalf doesn't beat us. We're going to blitz the living hell out of Aaron Rodgers and really challenge him early. Like that to me would be the game plan. I'm a novice. I'm not a coach, but I feel like that's the path to try and winning this game week 1.
Well, I think the interesting piece of that, and I'm glad you kind of mentioned that, blitz the hell out of Aaron Rodgers, let Sauce Gardner travel one-on-one against DK Metcalf. When we talked to Steve Wilkes over the last couple of weeks at OTAs, he kind of made the point of we are not just going to be, imprinted on being a man-to-man defense. We're going to play some zone. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. That multiple look that a lot of defenses kind of avoid because it's a little too complex for their play callers and for their players, whatever it ends up being. But if you look at where the Jets are, they do have the talent to be a multiple style defense, a team that blitzes a lot, but also plays a little bit of zone, plays a lot of man, all those different things, because Sauce Gardner is versatile in that way. Brandon Stevens is versatile in that way. So it will be interesting to see what they do in this particular game, because the matchup they have against Pittsburgh is a lot different than the matchup they have against, say, like Buffalo. I don't think they should be going flat man against the Buffalo Bills. They have too many really good weapons on the outside to just trust every single corner to be able to stop them. That's not how it works. You're going to have to win in some zone coverages and disguise what you're doing against Josh Allen. I don't think you can disguise a defense against Aaron Rodgers. He has seen a lot. So go one-on-one against these guys. Like you said, blitz the hell out of them. That's a matchup that I think would fit the Jets really well and sort of tease why the Jets defense is going to be a lot more buttoned up this season than in years past.
I just hope that we're not, looking back on this game and being like, this is where it all started, the spiral. Call me a cynical Jet fan, but I will repeat what I said. If the most Jet-like thing to ever happen was Rodgers getting hurt on the 4th play, you could see it now, him coming back and playing well and winning this game. And that's why I think if they win this game, the Jets actually defy the SOJ. That bodes well for my faith in Aaron Glenn maybe being the guy that could finally get this team out of the rut.
They have shown as a franchise nothing to essentially curry favor with the fan base, I think is the best way to put it. They have not shown competency in the front office, in the coaching staff, in the players to warrant any sort of trust in a game like this. Everything OTAs aside, they just have shown nothing to prove that. However, you look at NFL history and you look at some of the downtrodden teams during their sort of tenures and the kind of ways that they were able to turn it around. It didn't happen just with a flip of a switch. It happened incrementally, but it also happened in one particular game, one demarcation point that showed that this team is no longer the doormat of the NFL. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, it was the Immaculate Reception. They were building, but they became true title contenders with the Immaculate Reception. You look at the Miracle of the Meadowlands for the Eagles in 78, when their first winning season. You look at the 49ers. What was the demarcation point? The catch. Every team has those points where they prove to themselves that they can win. Not saying that week 1 is the be-all, end-all, like I'm saying, but this could be an excellent opportunity for Aaron Glenn and his staff to show that these are not the same old New York Jets. These are not the same old teams that are just going to bungle away a season and lose on the season opener and just have no interest in playing the rest of the year. They do have a lot of talent on this roster. And if they are able to beat Pittsburgh and maybe keep it close against Buffalo, God forbid, pull off an upset, you are going to be talking about this Jets team in a much different light in just 4 short months.
You get the fuck out.
That's what Glenn said to Rodgers. Will Rodgers say that to Glenn? We hope not. Barney checks in with a super chat. Sauce pick 6 on Rodgers' first pass. That will be one of the loudest Jet roars we've seen in forever if that happens.
So I was in the press booth when Rodgers was announced that fateful Monday night game against Buffalo, and I have very rarely heard a sports stadium in general
as
loud as that. You know,
That was the best environment for any sporting event I've ever been at. The opener 2 years ago.
You know, I've covered Ranger playoff games in the Eastern Conference Final. I covered Islander playoff games when they were beating Pittsburgh. I've seen a lot of it. That was the loudest and most intense I've ever felt a crowd before the game even started. I think on Sunday, whatever day in September that is, that first week 1 game, the 1 o'clock game, I think you're going to get close to that kind of intensity and loudness. And it's going to be really interesting to see because I think Jet fans, I don't think Jets players are as angry with Aaron Rodgers as Jets fans are. They're just angry about how it failed. And they are going to want payback in some way. And to hear that crowd, that is going to be an incredible environment week 1.
I really don't understand fans who are angry with Aaron Rodgers, like insinuating that it's his fault that this was a disaster when unfortunately he got hurt and did everything in his power, by the way, to still try and come back that season. If you watch the Netflix doc, you see all that. He took a $35 million pay cut, which was the largest pay cut in NFL history, to help the Jets. Like he was voted best teammate by his own teammates. Yeah. Like I have no ill will towards the guy. I hope he sucks week 1, but like, you know, if he plays well for Pittsburgh, I'm not going to be upset about that. Like I didn't think he played all that bad last year. It wasn't great, but I think he got better as the year went on, and he couldn't overcome Zerline, couldn't overcome the defensive collapses, Salah being fired. Like, you know, he wasn't perfect, but it always bothers me when it's like, oh, it was all Rodgers. It's like, did you watch the same team we did last year? My God.
Coaching, ownership, front office. There were so many reasons why the Jets have failed over the last 2 years, specifically when they brought in Aaron Rodgers. It's not just him. Now, while saying that, he did not help the situation either. He was not very good at the beginning of the season. The injury certainly hurt, and it's hard to ignore the kind of anonymous reporting that went on and anonymous sources that were talking throughout the organization. And this has happened in Jets history, as it happens with any team that is struggling. But the fact of the matter is that with Rodgers, the expectation was that all these problems are going to come to an end. And they didn't. If anything, they only multiplied in a number of different ways. So this isn't to say that Jet fans are in the right to say they need to blame Rodgers, but it's the essence of a fan to be upset over a player that you had all these hopes for, all these aspirations, and for it to crumble 4 plays into week 1 in 2023.
Worst moment ever.
And then to see the disaster that was the 2024 season, I absolutely can see plenty of boos. I can see.
He'll be booed. He'll definitely be booed because of what happened on McAfee when he took a shot at Glenn like that. He definitely will be booed. I think it would have been booed anyway because fans are going to be liquored up and be like, it's the new regime. Yeah, F Rodgers. Like, you know how like football fans are going to be. He's going to get booed, but I don't think he should is my point.
Here's the thing, though. It's the fact that you kind of mentioned that last point. Him going on McAfee, essentially trashing the organization and their thought process on not keeping them, that is going to be the lasting imprint of this Rodgers saga in New York. I did everything I could to fix it. Well, screw you. Screw this, screw that, screw everyone involved with this. That's essentially what happened. And now this fan base has the opportunity for the first time after those comments to really make their voices heard.
Ladies and gentlemen, Super Chats cut the line around here. Islip Jet fan checks in. What's up, Islip Jet fan? Who the Islanders taking number 1? Of course, week 1 is Rodgers versus Fields. We are built for this shit. See you in session 135, row 4. Islip Jet fan, one of the great teachers that tunes into the show. Diehard Jet and Islander fan, great guy. I look forward to seeing you at some games this year. Let's hope, man. Let's hope. Let's hope the Jets could surprise me and win week 1. Ace of Spade, off topic, but Nick, what's your take on the Thibodeau firing? A basketball question for you, Nick.
Ooh, this is a good one. So you're kind of in no man's land right now if you're the Knicks, right? So you get to the Eastern Conference Finals. You're 2 games away from the NBA Finals. They had the matchup. I really thought they had a pretty solid opportunity to beat Oklahoma City if they got there. In that way, the Knicks should never have fired Tom Thibodeau, because if you're that close already, Boston's about to be a lot worse the next season. You have no idea where Milwaukee is going to trade Giannis if they choose to do so. So who is your competition in the East? Cleveland, Indiana, Boston, Orlando, Detroit? I mean, you really look at it, you think about it. This is a very winnable conference for the Knicks over the next few years outside of this loss in the Eastern Conference Finals. So in that way, I don't think the Thibodeau firing was just. However, you look at NBA history and you look at, for example, the Golden State Warriors. They were a team that got to the second round and felt that they were capped for what they could do with Mark Jackson and said, screw it, let's get Steve Kerr. They end up being one of the greatest dynasties in basketball history. There is a reason to think that you can find a better coach that can maximize the offensive talent than Tom Thibodeau. So in that way, I understand it. Ask me again after who they hire, if it's Mike Malone, if it's Brian, if they're able to get one of the college coaches in there. We're never going to know and understand how good that hiring will be until they make that decision. So I get both sides of it. I really, really do. It's just a matter of who they end up replacing him. Because if they get a guy that's unable to win and unable to maximize his talent and the defense struggles, then what the hell did you fire Thibodeau for?
I agree. I think it's very risky. I mean, it's anything short of getting to the finals next year. It's a failed year, and that's really hard for any coach, especially if they go with someone who's never been a head coach before. If it is Johnny Bryant, who was the assistant on Tibbs' staff for several years before last year.
Bryant's a great coach, and I think most Knicks fans would celebrate that kind of hire because that, to me, was the logical replacement for Thibodeau once he eventually retired. If he was not going to get fired and he retired, Bryant was, in my opinion, that perfect blend of being able to have a modern style of basketball to the defensive principles that Thibodeau had. So it would make a lot of sense. But now that you're bringing him in after Thibodeau got fired, you were essentially saying, hey, buddy, listen, you're a first-time coach. You got to get to the NBA Finals or else you're screwed. That's such a difficult decision to make. I see a couple of comments here talking about Jason Kidd. He makes a lot of sense.
Kidd's my preference of realistic options if he wants out of Dallas because he's a New York guy, can handle it. He really has gotten better as a coach, has a relationship with the best player on the Knicks and Jalen Brunson, has a great relationship with Giannis too, by the way, for whatever that's worth. Kidd has become a really good coach, so I would definitely be in on Kidd.
Gotten the team to the finals, and that's really the main point here. So if you're trying to get to the finals, you need a guy that's been there. You're looking for someone with experience. Kidd makes a lot of sense.
You ready for some trivia, Nick?
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is trivia. Question is for Nick and the chat. If you're the first in the chat to get it right, we'll give you a raffle entry for the Justin Fields jersey I'm raffling away at the end of this show. Rich Samini has the trivia question. Rodgers-related trivia. Steelers will be the second team in NFL history to start a Super Bowl winning quarterback in the regular season finale, Russell Wilson, and then start a Super Bowl winning quarterback in the following season's opener, Aaron Rodgers. Can you name the other team?
Oh man, this is a doozy. This is a doozy. San Francisco would make a lot of sense, but Young didn't start 1990. Oh man. Oh wait, hold on. So let me make sure I get this right. So a Super Bowl winning quarterback plays for one team to end the year.
Yep.
And then plays for a different team week one to begin the new season.
Correct. The quarterback started the last game of the previous season, won a Super Bowl. Say it again.
Tom Brady, 2019 to 2020 with New England and Tampa Bay.
No, because Tom Brady, he left to go to a different team. We're talking about the same team. Right?
Oh,
Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl. He started the last game of the Steelers season last year. Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl. He's projected to start the first game of the Steelers season this year.
Oh, man.
No one in the chat has gotten it right.
God, oof. Damn.
Same team, different Super Bowl winning quarterbacks.
Hold on.
When I tell you this, you're gonna laugh.
It's gonna be some really stupid team. Oh man.
Someone in the chat got it, but I won't spoil it just yet.
Trying to think. Simeon started after Manning. He didn't do it. Ooh, this is a doozy.
You ready for the answer?
I would say I want to get an educated guess here, but I'm damn.
10, 9.
All right, I
8.
give up. I give up.
The answer? The New York Jets. They started Joe Flacco the last game of the 2022 season, Super Bowl winning quarterback. They started Aaron Rodgers the first game of the 2023 season, Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Wow. Holy, that's a doozy, man.
That is a great trivia question. Shout out to Samini and shout out to Mr. Flowers for being the only one that got it right in the chat. I bookmarked it. Flowers, I got you in the Fields jersey raffle at the end of the show for one as promised.
That's a doozy. Wow, that's a great one.
How about that?
That's a great trivia question. That's Rich showing off, flexing his muscles a little bit.
Now, to be fair to Rich, he did credit Elias Sports Bureau, so he got that stat from them. But that's a great nugget.
Damn, that's
Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers, baby. Jets quarterback history. Super Bowl winning quarterbacks only.
Man, can you believe? Talk about Joe Flacco. The when he first started, he came out in Baltimore, leading the Ravens to all these playoff appearances, kicked to the curb by the Ravens, and now he's a journeyman quarterback. But this guy, in my opinion, had the greatest playoff run for a quarterback in NFL history. Like, you really think about it. What was it, 2012 Ravens team? That playoff team, you beat Manning, you beat Brady, you beat Jim Harbaugh, you beat Andrew Luck. And I think the playoffs, he threw like 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Like, I think that's the greatest run for any quarterback in playoff history.
Ladies and gentlemen, another holy shit bomb from Rick Kent. Are you kidding me? Rick Kent in for 20 more memberships plus 2 for the Rick Kent. Holy hell. Let's go, Rick.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Of all the dramatic things I have ever seen, like Rick Kent gifting 40 memberships in a single damn show.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
The hell with it.
I can't even get the helmet on because I'm wearing my hat, but I have the headphones on, so it makes I just hurt myself. It makes the whole thing a tedious process here, Nick. Don't worry. Rick, helmet comes on when we get 20 memberships. You know the rules. Here we go. Rick Kent, 20 names to read off. Cap Condor, Roger Anthony, Paul, Boy Green, Esden Jr. What's up, Boy Green? Wesley Gates, Jetpack 615, Green Gang Goliath, Big Green, Michael Calvo, Anthony Loguriato, Sunday Night Smoke Podcast, Tom Murray, Doc Averitt, Green Truth Dave, Tyler Terman, that's Dylan's brother. Shout out to you, both Dylan and Tyler. Liam Boland, Boogie Down Dave, Mario Ranieri, Trisnick, Spencer Green, Ernie, Drew Balcom. That's 20 names. Rick Kent is a mother effing legend. Let's go.
Show me the money. Show me the money! Money.
I realized why I struggled putting the helmet on there. I forgot to take the headset off before I put it on. I was like, how did this helmet get smaller all of a sudden? Well, it's because I didn't take this off in the process.
I'm surprised you have a hat on with that, too. That can't be comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, the helmet is Mekhi Becton, so it's huge. It's very, very large. If you didn't get a membership there, the YouTube algorithm might hate you, or you don't have the setting turned on, because Rick Kent has single-handedly put himself in position here to win the Justin Fields jersey at the end of the show. In fact, Georgie's using his free AsManiacs super chat that comes with your membership every month to say, Rick Kent, you effing legend, WCA. Let's go. Give it up to the Rick Kent. All right, we'll do some calls with Nick as well. Gusbuster Hotline is open, but first a super chat from Julian. He is in the raffle for normally 5. It's plus 2 for the remainder of this show and the next show because I'm not doing shows this weekend in all likelihood. So, Julian, you are in for 7 here, and he writes in, pumped for week 1, hoping the Jets bring the heat. Flacco and Sanders seems like a funny combo from the videos coming out. There was a good mic'd up video of Shador and Flacco at practice. Shador asking him if he dances, and Flacco's like, what? No. So I enjoyed that.
It'll be interesting, too. If Rodgers plays a full season in Pittsburgh and Flacco wins the job in Cleveland, you could be getting Flacco versus Rodgers twice in the AFC North. Truly stupendous from where these guys originally were in the early 2010s.
Speaking of blitzing, I would love to see Quincy Williams blitz in that opener against Aaron Rodgers.
Him, Jamie and Sherwood, I'm sure they're going to have different disguises. You look at Wilkes and the job that he has done as a defensive coordinator over the years and really as an interim head coach, what he was able to do, not just in Carolina, but in San Francisco, in Cleveland. You have a lot of different defenses, a lot of different ways to win and be successful, and he was able to do it. So this is a prime matchup week one to show exactly how good Wilkes is as a play caller, to disguise and try to get in Aaron Rodgers' face.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're talking with Jets beat reporter Nick Faria in his weekly spot on the show. Reminder to those of you out there that are interested in group tickets for the Tampa game on the road, join the Patreon. There is a link for tickets available in the 100, 200, and 300 sections down in Tampa. If you sign up for the year, you save 20% on the Patreon, and you're also in the raffle for 10 when you sign up. And a reminder that in addition to the Fields daily raffle at the end of the show, all memberships that you get for that, you're also, of course, added for the full-size Broadway Joe helmet, Clyde Frazier jersey, Kevin Mawai jersey, and Bart Scott jersey. So keep that in mind as well. People think Rick wants the Fields jersey. Nah, Rick wants that full-size Namath helmet in his living room. We had Peter Castro, an OG Jet fan, win the first one. And Rick Kent would be a worthy winner of the second full-sized Broadway Joe helmet. Gusbuster hotline, that is open. So let's head out and take some of your calls right now if you want in on the conversation. And first up today on the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline is the great Kyle Clifton.
Nick, Jake, how are you?
Mr. Clifton.
So you're getting two cantankerous calls in a row from me.
Let's go.
Alan Lazard. Quit on the team. No doubt about it. Blamed his lack of production on the fact that Aaron Rodgers was hurt. This is something that was discussed at length on Boy Green's show this morning. If you're building a new culture, getting rid of Alan Lazard probably is on your to-do list. Just because, you're trying to see if young players are going to pop. You're trying to gather draft assets in case you want to go up and get a player that's going to fit your system. Even if you were able to get a fifth in exchange for a sixth and Lazard, like that's something that you can use to go up and get a player that really fits you in next year or the year after. So I'm not exactly sure. I get that Alan Lazard could block. He can't catch. I get that he's someone that, we might need because we've kind of bereft of wide receivers. But I don't think it matters that much in the whole scheme of things because we're trying to move past the Rodgers era. And if he's not the poster boy for the Rodgers era, Rodgers is, but he would probably be his vice president in that scenario. He's somebody that we probably should be looking to move past if we're trying to put our own, or if Glenn is trying to put his own brand on the team. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it. Like, I don't see why Alan Lazard is on this team. Like, you're not winning with or without him. I can add a draft pick, seemingly. Even if I'm just, like, swapping it, I'm still moving up around in that scenario. You already have Josh Reynolds on the team, and I rather open that spot up for a younger player to get those reps than Lazard, who's only going to be here for, at best, one more year anyway. So I'm with you, Kyle. I know Nick and I were batting this around earlier, but, I mean, Nick, you're at practice. You're seeing it. They seem to really like Lazard in this offense.
They like him as a leader. They like him as someone who's been around the NFL for a little bit, for the younger players. And again, this is not me suggesting. This is what the Jets are. They like him as a leader. And they really, really value him as a blocker because they're going to run the ball a lot, guys. They just are. And when you're going to run the ball 30 to 35 times a game, most likely, you need to make sure that you can block downfield. So there is a part of Lazard's game that this coaching staff feels that is necessary for this team. Now, they very well, like I said, if Roman Wilson does not produce at a high level, or if Calvin Austin gets hurt, the Steelers could absolutely look to trade for a different guy. And Rodgers, of course, is going to bang on the table for Lazard. He's going to try to bring in his guys. But where things stand right now, I don't know if Pittsburgh wants to trade for him just yet. And if they don't, then that means the Jets, again, continue to value his leadership and value his blocking more than anything else.
You're there every day, Nick. You can take the temperature better than I can. But, I can tell you, if this guy has drops in the first 3 or 4 games, and the fans are going to be like, what is he still doing here as we're trying to build this thing? And there's going to be a backlash against him. And I could see that going kind of south real quickly. Thanks for your time, guys.
Hey, Kyle, before you go, very good suggestion from ISU. He wants to know if you could say, oh, yeah, real quick, like you're the Kool-Aid man.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Let's go full screen here. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's why we do what we do around here.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Dave Briga is not a channel member somehow. He claims that on Nick's channel, he's a member. Who's Nick? Oh, Nick Shine. Duh. I don't know, Dave. Make sure you have the setting turned on for this channel because it doesn't seem to make sense why the Dave Briga is not a channel member here. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me. Jet Carpetbagger. I guess I missed this earlier. Carpetbagger. We did hit on this without even seeing that this was a take that you had. I do think he's going to get booed. I think it's unfortunate. If I'm at the game, I would not be booing. I wouldn't be cheering, but I'm not going to be booing. I want the Jets to win, but I don't think Rodgers deserves to be booed.
I get it after the comments. After the comments he made on Pat McAfee, I do understand. It's kind of like T.O. I mean, there were Eagle fans that loved T.O. when he left, and then he went to Dallas and essentially trashed the organization, and they said, screw it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question for Nick, last chance to write it in, and we will bring it up on the screen. Nick, we obviously haven't had you on since the most recent OTA that was open for the media to view. That was Tuesday already. There'll be mini camp next week, so you get one more chance to look at this team before training camp later on in the summer. What were your biggest takeaways from another OTA session that was open for you guys to observe?
Yeah, and I've kind of put it out a couple articles as well on X Factor just talking about it, but Justin Fields continues to learn the system, and you are seeing parts and points of practice where he looks like a first-round pick. He looks like a guy that's got the big arm, good accuracy, that you can trust to win you games on Sunday. The biggest problem right now, in my opinion, is that he's too indecisive. He's not taking chances. I think if he went out during OTAs and threw a few interceptions of practice, to me, that's okay. This is the time to make these kind of mistakes. But with him holding the ball a little bit longer, which has been his MO for years now, both in Chicago and in Pittsburgh, it just looks like he's afraid to make a mistake sometimes. He's learning a new offense, and of course, there are mistakes that are going to be made. He's not making the right reads on this particular play or that particular play. He has not been bad. I want to make that abundantly clear. He has not been bad in OTAs. He's looked good on some plays, on others, and really bad on even some others. So he's been inconsistent, and I think that continued into Tuesday. It's just a matter of how long does it take for him to get this playbook down. What do the Jets do to try to make things a little bit easier from him from a reads perspective? Because when he is just first read and go, he can be a very good quarterback. If he has to read the defense, I think it's a little bit of a struggle at this point right now. So it's a wait-and-see game for him. I do like what I've seen from the offensive line a bit. I do like, the fact Armand Membu had a tough day on Tuesday against Rashad Weaver, but I think that said more about who Weaver was as a player than Membu. But the offensive line has been pretty solid. The defense has been really, really good, particularly along the defensive line. So, again, this is all about practices before the pads come on, so we have to understand that we take this for face value. But right now, the way that I would put it, the biggest takeaway from Jets OTAs from these voluntary workouts is that Justin Fields is playing like Justin Fields. He'll look good some days, other days he won't so much. Can he find that consistency to be a quality starting quarterback?
Super chat from John. John, apologies, missed this earlier during all the craziness with the memberships. I read reports Knicks consider head coaching change during the season. Also read Knicks are interested in Kid. He's close with conditioning coach that came from Dallas. Yeah, he also loves New York. He played for the Knicks too at the end of his career, and he, has coached Jalen Brunson before, and those two have remained close.
Bingo.
So,
You start Jalen Brunson. You want a coach that knows how to coach. Period.
Ladies and gentlemen, a chance to get a membership from Indy Jets. He was trying to get to the Dave Briga. He failed, but he did give 2 memberships. So Indy will get you down in the raffle +2 on each. Your memberships went to Watchman and to Grinch Mob Jets for life. All right, Nick, I have a final question for you before we get you out of here. Do you believe you warrant an invitation to little Joey, that's Beast pet guinea pig? Do you believe you warrant an invitation to his birthday party? Because here is the initial list. I don't see your name on the initial list here. You didn't make the secondary list either. But Beast is in a giving mood. Make your pitch to Beastbreaker why you believe you're deserving of being invited to his guinea pig's birthday party, which will be on June 12th.
June 12th? Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to make it anyway. But if it was possible, if I could find something in the schedule, I think the big thing that I would push is I'm a nice guy. I'm a fun person to hang out with. I think that says enough.
Now, the birthday party, I believe, is online. So I don't know if that impacts your availability or not. You wouldn't have to actually fly all the way to Illinois to go to the Beast Attic.
Yeah, there's a couple of things the wife and I are figuring out. We're going to Florida in a little bit, so we've got some stuff to handle. I think that's her one-off day, so TBD.
All right. Well, let's find out if you're even going to get invited, because we got to ask the man himself, who yesterday, if you missed the show, might still be in concussion protocol.
And also one east. That's what's going to happen to Rodgers. Right on his back.
All right. I like that. Now, let me ask you this, Beast. Jets Chaos is a dear friend of mine. He, I think, would be a great addition to little Joey's birthday party.
For you. Right? Are we ready? Well, Nick, you're officially in.
Yeah.
You're signed. You're in. All right. Adjourned. Court recess, please. Court recess. Next caller, please. Next caller.
That's great news. Tremendous. Let's head out to the Gusbuster hotline right now. Bring on our next caller. Let's say hi for the first time today to none other than the great Beastbreaker.
I'm about to go get myself another drink of water with this. I was drinking a little of my orangeada this morning. This is from Poland. So I'm going to go get my water and my pill, and then I got to start getting ready because in a few minutes, I'm on my way out. You know where? Walmart.
Where are you going? Oh, Walmart.
Walmart. I got to go get my tablets for the pool. Because next Tuesday, the pool's going up. And get ready because you know what we're going to be having soon? We're having a heat wave, 1968 style. And no, it's not the singer. It's the heat wave's coming. So get along with the next call, please.
Now, Beast, are you a cannonball guy or a belly flop guy in the pool?
Oh, not this. This is not just a normal pool. This is a blow-up pool. Can't screw that up. That's a $50 pool. I'm not going to be blowing money like that. It's called, we're going to take it easy. I'd rather sit in the pool and just think.
Oh, it's a blow-up pool, like one of those like inflatable pools?
That's right. It comes with the inner tube and also comes with the septic tank. That's why I'm gonna relax, sit in the pool, and be like.
Is it a kiddie pool?
Hey, I'd rather have a pool safe than so. You know what? Something is better than nothing. Something is better than nothing. And you know what? Someone told me once, hey, I'd rather have something than have nothing at all. Just think of it this way. Would you rather have something or would you rather have nothing? Think about it.
Are you a T-shirt in the pool kind of guy?
Yes, of course. I'd rather do that than be a And I'm not gonna do that on here. No.
Also,
We're gonna be a little nicer here. A little,
good question from
no
Boomtown.
trying to be a
When you say septic tank, does that mean you plan on pooping in your pool?
No comment there. We do not do that in the pool there. I'm sorry, that's disgusting. We're not
But
Caddyshack.
that's what a septic tank does. That's what it is.
You got to be. Hey, be a little. Let's be a little bit appropriate, shall we, please? Not to be rude and be instead of being dishonest. Now let's get to the next caller. I don't like to be rude and be vulgar here. Now move along. In the words of Obi-Wan Kenobi,
do you have swimmies? The chat wants to know if you have swimmies so you don't drown.
Hell no! You think I'm gonna have that? It's a 10 by 30 pool. Now, in the words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, move along. All
right, we'll move along, Beast. We'll talk to you soon.
Move along.
How long do you think he's gone for?
Give it another minute.
He'll be back. Where else is he going? Would you go in Beast Breaker's pool, Nick? How much would you need to be compensated?
Couldn't pay me to get in there.
Is the septic tank a deal breaker for you?
Yeah, it's a big deal breaker.
Makes sense. I hear him in the background. If this doesn't scream peak June content, Dick Chimney's burner, I don't know what does. Nick, thanks for dealing with my bullshit today. I appreciate you hopping on as always. Oh, hold on. I meant to get rid of Beast. There we go. Nick, thanks for hopping on as always. Enjoy your weekend.
I appreciate it, man. Apologies for the lateness again. Thank you.
You're good. All good. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Faria in his weekly spot. Read his work, Athlon Sports, Jets X Factor. Appreciate him there. A couple memberships that I want to announce, and then we will get to more of your calls. Sorry, not sorry. Gifting one. It's +2 on all memberships for those tuning in late. At the end of the show, I'm giving away a Justin Fields jersey. So I have all the names. And if you gift for the Fields jersey, you're automatically entered in the weekly prize of the Bart Scott autographed jersey, Mawai autographed jersey, Frazier autographed jersey, and Broadway Joe full-sized replica helmet. So sorry, not sorry. +2 for you on your membership gift. Kyle Clifton, he's gifting 5. Clifton's won a bunch of raffle prizes, including a Broadway Joe signed jersey last week on the show. Mr. Clifton, this is for you.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
And then finally, let's announce Tommy's gifted membership. He gifted 1. He's in the raffle for 3. Dick Chimney's burner checking in as well, enjoying the June content, I suppose.
Rejected. Sorry.
All right, some names to read off here. Brandon Hare receiving a membership. Vero Beach NY Jets receiving a membership. And then these are the 5 from Kyle, Frank Castellano, Andel Diet, Johnny P, Enoch Forte, and Mac Coy, all receiving channel memberships. This is from Sorry Not Sorry, Ray Noble. But wait, there's more. Oh, J-Boy gifting a 5-spot +2. 7 entries. I got to compile all these names. J-Boy, you're the man. Thank you.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. The following 5 are now channel members here. And by the way, the Boomtown emoji, for those who didn't tune into the show yesterday, it's now officially live. So congrats to Boom. Thank you again to Addison for the design. Hold the Onions, Joe Frisco, Private, Milk Money, all receiving the memberships there from J-Boy plus Nixie as well. Thank you guys for the support. You guys are all entered to win the Fields jersey at the end of the program. Let's get to more of your calls right now. And let's say hello to Izzy, who joins us next on our Gusbuster hotline. Izzy, what's going on, man?
What's going on, y'all? How you been?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm at work. I ain't calling in a few days, so I had to go ahead and sneak me one in at work.
Well, it's good to get you back on the program, Izzy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So this Rashad Weaver kid, man, we've been hearing a lot about him. Where did he come from?
He was with the Texans briefly last year. He's with the Titans. He's played for a couple teams. He's really kind of just been like a rotational player in his career. He had 1 good OTA. I don't know if that means I'm not expecting much from him.
Okay, yeah, I keep hearing his name, man. I'm excited to see
Huh? Izzy.
Rejected. Sorry.
Izzy, try and call back in with better Wi-Fi. We lost you mid-call there. We'll go right back to you. Charleston Jetsrube is next. What's up, Charleston?
I'm just wondering why all the hate from Beast. There's 40,000 people that want to come to this birthday party.
Do you think you deserve an invite?
Well, I mean, I think the entire Asmaniac community that supported him and it deserves an invite, to be honest.
Well, he does have his detractors, though. Like, you would admit that Bobby Beasley should not be invited to the party.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's the obvious people. I'm gonna admit when Beast first started coming on the show, I did not like the guy. It was like I cringed every time he came on. But I mean, I've grown to love the guy, you know. So I don't know. It's a little hurtful, Beast, that you're leaving. Okay, let's say half of the community doesn't like Beast. That's 20,000 people he's leaving out in the cold.
Good point.
And I ask Beast this. How many times in your life have you felt left out?
It's a great point. You know what?
How many times have you felt bad because you were not included? Now you're doing it to 20,000 people, Beast. What kind of empathy does he have?
Well, there's only, I think, one thing we could do, Charleston Jetsrube. We can ask the man himself. Beast, will you extend an invite to Charleston Jetsrube?
If he has an Instagram, he has to pop it in. You have to pop it in. Get
When
yourself
you
an
say
Instagram.
pop it in,
Yeah, that means you have to sign up automatic, which means automatically sign yourself up and you're automatically in. That's right.
So the party's on Instagram?
That's right. Bottom line, it's called private party. You think I'm going to trust that little schmuck? No deal. I don't trust him because let me give you a hint. DTA. Don't trust anybody. You gotta remember, play your cards right. If you don't play your cards right, you know what's gonna happen to this. The dealer of the table takes the money.
Quick question for you, Beast.
Throw me a one.
Why make a list then if you can just log on to Instagram and sign up on Instagram?
First of all, I don't trust you know who. First of all, I don't trust you know who. Bottom line.
Voldemort?
He thinks he can get away with murder. No. It's all private party only. Bottom line. I've made my point loud and clear. Now I'm not gonna sound like a nun on here and just say, now, get yourself an Instagram, sign up for it, and then I will take good care of you. Okay? Now enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good day. Have some fun. Go out and and don't drink too much beer on the weekend because you don't want to accidentally wind up going.
Is Charleston Jetsrube invited? Let's clear the air right now.
He's in. Automatically in. Automatic. Okay. Now
he's in, baby.
I appreciate that, baby.
In the words of certain people, all right, enough talking. Get back.
You get the fuck out.
You're in.
I feel very special now.
Well, I'm happy for you, Charleston. I mean, I think you certainly deserve it.
You know, I definitely appreciate being included. And, when we say BB, that can go for either one of them.
That's the thing. They're both BBs.
Does that ever get confusing?
All the time, yeah.
Like, does Beast ever, go on a tangent and then he realizes they were talking about him and not Bobby?
Yeah, it's a great question. I do at times get confused when people are writing BB in the chat.
Yep. I understand, but sorry about your Knicks. Not quite as sorry as I am about my Timberwolves. I don't think you guys should have fired Thibodeau. When he was a Timberwolf and we fired him, I was pretty upset, and it actually took us a while to get back to the point where we were decent again. Now, we did have Butler. I'm still not 100% sure what happened. I think Butler screwed Cat's girlfriend. There was something along one of them,
he wanted the contract. That was the big thing.
I know, but one of them did end up screwing the other one's girlfriend, and that ended up creating a lot of animosity. But
I'm not touching that. I don't know anything about that. I don't know. I don't think that's true.
I think it was Jimmy Butler's on Kat's girlfriend. But anyways, you know, I guess when your initials spell out Cat, there could be a chance that something crazy like that might happen. But anyways, maybe next year. There's talks that the Timberwolves might try to entertain KD, and to be honest, I don't want that. But anyways, thank you for getting me included. I was feeling a little down here the last couple weeks, and now you've really brightened my mood. As always, Jake, love you. Have a great day. Thank you very much, Mr. Charleston Jets Rube. The Cat Butler thing is not true, though. I would like to get out in front of that. I don't think that's a real thing. Luppy has gifted 5 channel memberships, +2 on all memberships. Luppy, this is for you.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
These are the people who got memberships from Luppy. Once again, if you're the person who gifts Dave Briga his membership, you're getting an item of your choice from the merch store, but no one's done it so far. Stewie Uploads, EC3, Middle Gator, Daniel Malcolm, all receiving channel memberships from the Lup Man. All right, lots still to do. Bunch of you on hold, so the show will continue. But first, let's quickly pause because we're sponsored today by Chubbies. Chubby Shorts, they're our sponsor today. Your new wardrobe awaits. 20% off Chubby Shorts. Code Jake Asman. Father's Day next week if you need a gift for your dad. That is the move. They got awesome shorts. They got awesome swim trunks. You name it, they have it for summer. The shorts are great. They stretch. They're comfortable. They also got polos. They got T-shirts. They got a bunch of different things to get you set for summer. 20% off right now. Father's Day is next week. Reminder to all the dads out there, check it out. Chubby Shorts. They're the shorts that I've been rocking now for over a year. So check it out. If you're a golfer, you'll thank me later. Chubby Shorts should be your go-to. And I got a code to get you 20% off. That code is my name, Jake Asman, chubbyshorts.com. Use that code, support our sponsor, and they'll hook you up with a discount on some top-notch shorts, bathing suits, you name it, they got it, chubbyshorts.com. Comments, questions, super chats, they cut the line. Quick PSA, Gator McCluskey's appearing on the Jets Worldwide program tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So go watch Gator, Snowball, Jets Johnny Boy, excuse me. I get Jets Johnny and Johnny Boy mixed up all the time. Johnny Boy and Snowball, they got you tonight, 7:30 Eastern time. Gator stopping by with them. Before we get to more of your calls, there's something I must play, and I must play it immediately. Mets 2128 is up next this segment. What's up, Mets?
Not much. Doing stuff.
Thoughts?
I'm going to be sick. You're literally trying to kill me, Jake. Hello.
You okay there, Mets?
Yeah, I'm just done with the call.
Are you going to call back again?
I'll pass.
Can you at least think about it?
I'll think about it.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time today. Excellent call.
You get the fuck out.
Mets 2128. Oh, boy. Hello, Mets.
For me, the fact that he barely used guys like Achua, Shamit.
He did use his bench.
But the fact that it took him that damn long to do it is what frustrates me.
So that's a fireable offense in your eyes?
No, I would have wanted it to go at least another couple of years.
You're agreeing with me. They shouldn't have fired him. Did you want him gone after the season concluded? Yes or no?
Yes and no.
It can't be yes and no. It's either yes or no.
Yes. All I'm saying is...
What are you saying? You're not saying anything. You're talking out of both
sides of your mouth. How about you quit cutting me off, you son of a bitch?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, what a moment.
You get the fuck out.
Boy, do we have a treat for you right now.
You son of a bitch.
Hello, Mets 2-1. How are you, Mets?
I think I might have overreacted. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say they shouldn't have fired him next year. They should fire him this year, rehire him, and then fire him. The overtaxing the front five, and it's frustrating. And you know what I'm saying is they got to pivot defensively and got to go to a 10-man rotation. And even Nate yesterday, he was, Nate, get out of here. He's all like a woolly mammoth. Get out of here, Nate. Sorry, Jake. Ah, you son of a bitch!
It's okay, Mets. Take a breath.
Let me finish.
Okay.
You're cutting me off, you son of a bitch.
Would you like me to ask you a yes or no question?
Yes and no. You're a Yankee fan too.
Thank you for your time.
You son of a bitch.
Gator got me so good there because he hadn't done that in a while as far as a fake call is on the line and then he flips it. So I didn't even vet if that was actually Mets or not. A throwback Gator call there. Well done, Mr. McCluskey. Shout out to Mets. I hope he calls back soon. Love that guy. Joe the Jet is saying Beastbreaker pees in the pool. Don't we all? Now, I don't know if I pee in a kiddie pool. That's probably not ideal. Come on now, Joe the Jet. You don't pee in the pool? Guess it depends on the type of pool. Izzy, let's see if his internet works this time. Hello, Izzy.
Oh, can you hear me now?
What's up, Izzy?
You can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, I was just saying, man, I wouldn't worry too much about that game. I know it's some typical Jet stuff because if he goes to the Steelers and they come out and he scores on the first opening drive, everyone's going to be like, damn, here we go again.
Here we go.
But I think, if Aaron Glenn is going to be more aggressive, he's not running from Quincy Williams. He's not running from Will McDonald. I mean, shoot, even a couple years ago when we versed him in Green Bay when Brees was a rookie, I mean, he couldn't even get away from Quinton Williams. And I mean, he's not the fastest dude out there. You know what I mean? He could be a little quicker, but he's not. He's going to be running for his life. And Rodgers can't throw the ball when he's got 300-pound dudes in his face.
Well, that's the key. The key, I think, is to really just send the house and really challenge him with new receivers he's never played with to beat you.
Yeah, and now that Glenn has first him a few times, and when he was with the Lions, so I'm sure he knows his tendencies. And like you said, Rodgers hasn't even been there. I mean, it sounds like he's just trying to get one more check before he retires all the way. So I like Rodgers. I didn't want him to go, but you could definitely look in and kind of see like the culture was getting a little tainted with him there. And I hate to say that, but I mean, I got a friend who's a diehard Green Bay fan. And he loves Rodgers, but when the Rodgers came to us, he told me, he was like, just know, man, there's a lot to come with Rodgers. He's like, he's good when he plays, he's good, but he's like, if y'all start losing, it could get bad. And
well, the problem was the Jets fired their coach and everything blew up. The defense collapsed. Like there were so many issues. He's going to a stable organization with a culture that's set with Tomlin every year. So
that's true.
I think he's still able to like be a competent starter. Like Pittsburgh's still probably going to win their usual 9 or 10 games this year. That's just what they do.
Yeah, or typical Jets fashion, they're going to the AFC Championship, and we'll have to see them there.
You know what? If you tell me the Jets are in the AFC Championship game, I don't care who they play. You sign me up for that.
Right. Hell yeah, man. Hey, thanks for taking my call again. I'm gonna try to get back into being a regular. I've been gone for the past couple of days, but work is tough, man. I'll be like in different parts of Virginia trying to get service, and it's tough. So I'll be on a call sometimes, and I'll be like driving through, and then the whole call just cuts out because I'm in a stick somewhere.
Keep grinding, man. Appreciate you hopping on, Izzy. You're a great caller.
Yeah, all day. Appreciate y'all, man.
Izzy, check it in. Good stuff there. More of your calls right now. Josh is on the line. Hello, Josh.
What's going on, Jake?
What, no school today either?
It's finals week, so we get out like so early. We take like
Nice.
a 2-hour test, then we're immediately home.
What was the final today, Josh?
Spanish.
Oh, how'd we do? Hola.
The essay was good, which was worth like, half credit. So happy about that. There were a couple vocab terms that I definitely neglected to study on, but it's all right. All's well that ends well.
All right. Well, I love it. I'm glad that you got through it.
All right. Well, one thing on the Knicks is that if you're going to be this mad about firing Tom Thibodeau, I think there has to be changes to the roster too. I don't think you can say that whoever the coach may be, if you're running back the same roster, you really think that they're going to get that much better and wipe out this Indiana team?
I think they need to continue adding to the group, right? I think they need a backup point guard. I think you'd like to boost the bench if you can. But I think a lot of what Indiana did was continuity. Like, they didn't make a ton of changes. And I think the Knicks were better last year. They just didn't have a healthy team. This year, Indiana got a lot better. So I think the key is to find a coach that can maximize the talent you already have and then add to it.
Right. And I think it's also a factor of discipline because for me, watching as a Net fan from the outside, it looked like the Knicks had 5 individual players on a team and they weren't actually playing for each other. It just looked like, Cat was swiping at the ball, taking terrible fouls, causing him to sit out most of the third quarter. Guys like Bridges and OG were chucking up threes that they had no business taking early in the shot clock. It just looked to me like the Knicks had, 5 guys that were all playing for themselves.
And what, the Pacer series you're talking about?
Yeah, in the Pacer series.
Yeah, I mean, look, it still went 6 games, though, right? And they had a historic choke job in game 1. Thunder fans know all about what that is like now after last night. So I don't think the Knicks are that far away from the Pacers. I think Indiana, to their credit, was just better. The Knicks had that game that you can't erase in game 1, but we'll see. I mean, I would have given Thibodeau another year. I don't think he should have been fired when they made the Cat trade on the eve of training camp. It was his first year with Bridges and Cat in this new lineup. The bench didn't have a whole lot of depth. Everyone's screaming for Tibbs to play the bench. No one was saying that against Boston when the Celtics only had an 8-man rotation as well. And everyone's commending the Knicks for having more gas at the end of these games to be able to close it out because they're built for it. So it's like whatever narrative people want to try and use to fit their talking points. But we'll see. I mean, it could go one of 2 ways. They could find a coach that gets them over the top, and there's examples in NBA history of that happening, or this is the beginning of the end. I hope it's not the latter.
All right. Well, for the Knicks, for the Jets, honestly, I think Rodgers going to the Steelers makes it an easier week 1 game.
I hope. You're not old enough to really experience true SOJ pain yet, though.
I feel like I am.
How old are you now?
14, turning
Yeah.
15 in a month.
Yeah. You'll see. I used to be just like you, but the last 2 years, they have turned me.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing.
I hope not. I think the Jets can win that game. I don't think it'd be like the craziest thing ever. I just think it'd be very Jet-like for them to lose this exact game.
Yeah, especially with Justin Fields trying to make a statement against Pittsburgh. Yeah, it feels like there's going to be so much riding on the line that the Jets will collapse.
And then if they don't win, it could be 0-2 with Buffalo the next week. And then that puts enormous pressure to beat Tampa on the road in week 3. Then you got the Dolphins after that. So the first 4 weeks, not easy.
It could spiral. Yep.
Well, Josh, you have a hell of a day, all right?
You too, Jake. I'll be at the Yankee game. Hopefully we can beat Boston for the first time.
Oh, let's
this
go.
year.
Yeah, let's go Yanks tonight then.
For sure.
Love it. Josh checking in. By the way, shout out to Max Fried. How good is that guy, man? Unreal. Green Gang in the house. Green Gang, I want you to know that your CJ Mosley signed jersey that you won was sent out. So you will get it shortly. Appreciate you gifting 5. You're in the raffle for 7. I'm putting the names together at the end of the show. Not signed. I didn't mean to say signed. Justin Fields jersey. If you enter for the Fields jersey, this is what I meant to say. You'll be entered to win the signed, this is signed, Broadway Joe Namath jersey, Wall-Clad Frazier jersey, Kevin Mawai jersey, Bart Scott jersey. Those are all signed. Fields jersey is just, you get to wear it too. Hopefully week 1, that was my idea to do this. Everyone's talking about Rodgers. I'm trying to have some positive karma here on a football Friday. Green Gang, you're in for 5. Let's go.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Raffle entries 7, but 5 memberships gifted, and they went to, let's see, Mile High Jet Fan, Chico Andretti, James Jones, Malcolm Harper, and TV, all receiving memberships. Hey, we have over 300 people in here, but only 157 likes. The math's not mathing. Hit the like button. Open phone lines for those of you who want in on the conversation. How are we feeling about Rodgers versus the Jets? Week 1. Because of course. Why wouldn't that be the matchup? Interesting tweet from Zach Rosenblatt in The Athletic. Why exactly would the Jets just give the Steelers a receiver, Alan Lazard, that Rodgers wants? What purpose would that serve unless they get a legitimate draft pick in return? Just responding to rumors I've seen on social media, not anything actually happening. Well, the counter to that is Lazard's on the team for what, 1 more year? You're not really downgrading when you have Josh Reynolds who could step in. It opens the door for other players on the team like Arian Smith, maybe Malachi Corley. to get reps. And like, I don't know, if I can get a 6th round pick for Lazard, that might be worth it. So that's the counter to that. And if you're trying to like change the culture, Lazard's part of the great culture. I mean, he quit on the Jets when they didn't have Rodgers when he got hurt in 2023. That's the counter to that. More of your calls right now. Here we go.
Well, he's home sitting in a chair, 'cause his back hurts. On the road, he's sitting in a chair, in an upgraded hotel room. He calls the show his ass is in a chair. His wife thinks he's weird. He got a beard. He loves the Jets, the Super Chats. He's a big fella. He's all alone in a room on a chair. That's a big fella.
Yo, what's up, man?
Mr. Big Fella, how we doing?
Good. How you doing, buddy? Looking forward to this week 1 matchup. You want us? You know, want to know what's crazy? What hasn't been talked about? The Roger Jones was supposed to be our pick, right? The guy we were looking for the year Will McDonald was drafted.
Yeah, the Jets will deny that though. But that was the thought process why New England did what they did to screw the Jets, and Pittsburgh got the tackle instead.
So how crazy would it be if Will McDonald beats Broderick Jones and smashes Aaron Rodgers, bro?
Well, you bring up a great point because I said this a couple weeks ago. If you look back at the Rodgers trade to Green Bay, look at the players Green Bay got with those picks. The best player involved in that trade, because remember the Jets did the pick swap from 13 to 15, is Will McDonald. Will McDonald's been the best player in that trade.
That's what I'm saying. And it would just be it would be total, like, I don't know, karma, or like it wouldn't go the Jets' way usually, but let's hope this culture is changing and the whole vibe is changing. And Will McDonald sacks Aaron Rodgers through Roderick Jones. That would be amazing.
That would be electric. I hope it happens.
Yeah. Now, I wonder what Zach Rosenblatt thinks is a good draft pick. He says we need a quality draft pick and stuff. It's like, what's a quality draft pick for Alan Lazard, the guy who quit on us?
Fifth?
I don't know.
We trade a 5th, or they give us a 5th. We give them a 6th. So you move up around.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like, why would we trade him? Well, did you watch him play the past 2 years, bro? I don't want him. I don't want him on the team. The culture's got to change. He's part of the old regime. Let's get to the new, and let's start it off right with a win against the Steelers, man. That's what I'm looking forward to. Looking forward to week 1. We're going to beat them. We have to beat them. And let's start this season off right. That's it.
How does that compare to being invited to little Joey's birthday party, like on the excitement scale?
Well, little Joey is very important to us. So I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, probably little Joey's birthday is up there around a 6 or a 7. Week 1 is a 10. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to what is going on with this party anyway.
No one seems to know, but it's happening.
Yeah, and people are invited, but nobody knows what the hell is going on.
Yeah, what's the dress code?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm not going to be wearing sleeves, so
no. The day you wear sleeves, that's when it's over.
Yeah, that's when it's over. That's when you put me in the box. That's it.
That's it.
But no, man. Looking forward to week 1. Little Joey's birthday. But I'm happy Peter Castro got invited after calling him a lard ass all the time.
Yeah, surprised. I mean, it just really shows you bullying works. If that's how we're going to reward Peter Castro's behavior around here.
Well, hell, Neil was invited, and he said he killed a guinea pig. So
yeah, Neil told a story about how he murdered 2 guinea pigs.
Yeah, so I don't know. The guest list is a who's who. Let's just say that.
It really is.
But I don't know. That's all I got, man.
Big fella, you're the man. Appreciate your call as always. More of your calls right now. Jets Johnny's next. Hey, Johnny.
Oh man, I made it back on. That was weird. What's up, Jake? How you doing, brother?
What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
I hear
Oh
you. You
man.
hear me?
Hold on, bro. I gotta call
Oh.
back. My internet's real spotty, bro. I'm sorry. Let me call right back.
You got it. Jets Johnny will give us a call back. Don't worry. Have no fear, because in the meantime, a legend will join us.
He thinks that Charles and Bobby need to get a job. This cowboy hates to see AsMANIACS complain. What he call him, one punch breaker. You need to get a job. What he call him, one punch breaker. The beast is on his ass. Call him one punch breaker. Has anyone seen Bean Mac? Call him one punch breaker. He'll only need one.
Hey, good morning, Jake. How are you?
What's up, Dave? How are you?
Jake, you there?
I'm here, Dave. Do you hear me?
Good. I figured I'd give you a call here to. Yeah, I hear you. I figured I'd call in since there's no show tomorrow. No weekend show, huh? You gonna take a
Nope.
break?
I'm headed out of town for the weekend, Dave. So a couple days off.
You need to relax, man. You need some time off. You need to take a nice vacation. Too much work. You get too much work. You got to relax. Take a little time off.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anyway, I'm pumped up. I'm pumped up for this first game of the year. Okay. All my area, that's all we have is Steelers fans, and every time we play them, they don't think anything of us. These fans, these Steeler fans, they're still living off the '70s when they had great teams. Those were the great Steeler teams. These ones today, they can't even sniff their jockstrap in the '70s. It's just those teams were great. But anyway, we got to win this game. We got to make Rodgers. We got to send him for a loop. I'm just pumped up for this game. We got, we have to get more encouraged. We can't just think he's going to come in, because of all this bad karma that we have, we're going to lose the game or the SOG, SOJ, whatever. I just can't deal with that. I can't become Joe Benigno. I just can't do it. I can't go in that direction. No, really, Jake, we got to get pumped up. We got to have, we got to get encouraged, not discouraged. I mean, where are we going to go with that stuff? We know the situation. It is what it is, right? We got a new quarterback. He's got to prove himself, and we go from there, But we'll see. As far as Lazard, they could get rid of him tomorrow. That's not advantageous. Probably to get rid of him, after we play them. But he's not going to do anything for us. I know you're not too hepped up on this game. You think we're going down?
I'm just concerned.
We're going to go down.
Yeah, the history of the Jets concerns me here, Dave. That's why I think it'd be huge if Glenn can change that history and start off with a win.
Well, we hope we win. I mean, we got to strive for winning. We have to strive for that achievement. We have to turn things around. I mean, last year was the most discouraging year I can remember. We all know it. We all went through it, right? I mean, it was bad because we had expectations. We had expectations, and it felt solid. The whole roof, everything came down. It was horrible. It's just that those are the worst seasons like that. We've seen the seasons where we had no talent or very limited talent. So those are more. We don't accept defeat, but we're sort of used to being clubbed in that way, not the way it was last year. It's just, and I think everybody was more discouraged, yourself included, because of what happened last year. I know that it seems like that really affected you, and so what can we do? What can we do? We got to win, right?
Let's get
Let's get pumped up. But I'm all set for that Tampa game. I get everything set, so I'm ready to meet up all the guys. I'm looking forward to it, man. Let's get on. Let's everybody get down there. Let's everybody get down there.
Let's go.
Like I said, I don't like to become stale, and I'm missing Bobby. I hope Bobby's okay. I hope his eyes do. I know he's been away because of his eye. It's been a bad situation, so I hope we get to see him again. I know we had Bobby and myself at. Sometimes we've been at odds, but it's. He's become part of your show. We miss him. So, and the beast has become a big part of the show. And everybody should really start to enjoy him a little more. He's a guy that's got a lot of needs. He's got to take care of himself. I told him he's got to see that. He's got to get the cardiologist. We got to see that. And as far as Charles Gorman, everybody just it's been nice to see people give him gifts for his new home, and hopefully he gets a nice shaver there so he doesn't get cut again.
That's right.
That was a horrible cut. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. That was horrible. Then that blood comes spurting out. It was like an old-fashioned hockey fight from the '70s. It was terrible. But and you guys really pumped it up. But Gator, of course, he had his little videos there. So I guess we won't see you for the whole. Enjoy yourself. Take care, Jake. God bless you. God bless America.
The great Daybrig, everybody.
He thinks that Gary needs more shots upside his head. This cowboy hates when you don't believe in achievement. Well, they call him One Punch Brigger. The moon landing was great. They call him One Punch Brigger. His claim is not true. They call him One Punch Brigger. Hated jokes just like his ass. One Punch Brigger. Doesn't know they need one.
I mean, that Charles Cup, man. Yikes.
There you go. Don't move.
Oh, shit. You're not kidding.
Just brutal. They brought up Beningo. You want a little positive, Joe B?
We are mama way.
All right. We're 90 minutes in. I'll stay on as long as the calls keep coming in. So in the meantime, let's get back to your calls. We'll do the raffle at the end of the show. I'm giving away a Justin Fields jersey to one listener. If you enter for that, every membership on this show, my afternoon show, because I'm not doing a show tomorrow or Sunday, is +2. So Bart Scott jersey, Kevin Mawai jersey, Clyde Frazier jersey, Joe Namath helmet, all signed, authenticated. You're entered for that in next week's raffle if you gift, for those of you just tuning in. Jets Johnny, let's hope we can hear him this time. What's up, Johnny?
Jake, my brother, how you doing? You got me now?
Oh, I got you loud and clear. You got me.
I got you. Yeah. I had some BMAC internet there for a minute, man. I don't know what happened. I swear I paid my bill, but I had to call in because Rodgers is on the Steelers, and we're gonna totally disagree here because I've never been.
Right. I hope you're right.
And I hope you're wrong. I hope you've never been more wrong in your life, Jake.
Believe me. Same.
No, but I think like when we really look at it, like I can't be nothing but excited. The only thing that worries me about Pittsburgh is their defense. Like, and then when you look at what like Pittsburgh wants to do on offense, like at least what they've done the past couple of years, they wanted to push the ball down the field, which is not what Rodgers has done at all. Like in the past couple of years, he doesn't have the arm strength anymore. I don't think he has the confidence anymore. The guy's a year older. He's beat up. I'm not worried about him at all. I'm not worried about that Pittsburgh offense at all. The only thing I'm worried about is game one, and we got a rookie going against TJ Watt. And then we got to deal with that defense that's literally won them games, like, in the Mike Tomlin era, like they've scored points when the offense hasn't. And like they haven't needed anything from their offense in a lot of games. So that's really what worries me is that defense, special teams, and then obviously Mike Tomlin being the experienced tenured coach versus AG in his very first game. And the rookie, like Membu, like I was the biggest Membu guy in the offseason, but like, man, that's a welcome to the NFL moment right there, man, going against TJ Watt. So that's going to be like, I want to see how we handle their defense and how, AG coaches up the guys, because I feel like if we had Salah, this is a guaranteed loss, right? Like if Salah and Rodgers was coming back, like he would let it get to him, it would get to the team, and this would be a guaranteed loss. So I want to see how AG handles it, how he does in the media, because now everybody's going to be asking him, oh, Rodgers is coming back in the building. That's going to be the whole thing leading up to the players and everything like that. And that's on the coach. It starts with the coach to nix all that shit and to not let it affect the team at all. And just say, hey, listen, this is just another guy. It's just another team. And we're going to go out there and handle our business. So I'm like excited, but a little scared, but for the exact opposite reason, not because of Rodgers. I'm so happy we have Rodgers. I really don't think that they're going to score more than 10 points on us. But the only thing is,
Are we
is their
going to
defense
score
gonna
11?
right. Are we gonna score 11, or is there, if they score 10 and their defense scores 14, we can still be screwed. So
Right.
that's what I'm very we're concerned about. But and then obviously how the new offense, everything, it's a big ask to go against Pittsburgh, who's an established brand, even though they're getting a new quarterback and establishing your brand against that. But that's
Well, it's the first game for our coaching staff against an established head coach who's never had a losing record. Like
right.
that's a huge challenge.
Yeah, and it helps being at home. It helps being the home opener. We're gonna go crazy. We're gonna
Yeah,
pack
the crowd will be
stands.
great for sure. But they gotta have a reason to stay great the whole game.
Right. Right. And that's, getting out to a good start and, not looking back, that would be key. But I'm pumped up, I'm ready, man. Like, I'm gonna boo the shit out of Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if I'm gonna burn my Aaron Rodgers jersey yet or not, because I
Why are you
spent
gonna
way
burn
too
it? Like, what did he do? Like, it didn't work, but like you
No,
put it all
no,
on
no.
him the last 2 years. Like, come on.
No, I was being a little facetious there. But no, I mean, like, no, he really, like, the only reason why I kind of want to like kick his ass is because of his exit thing that he did on Pat McAfee and stuff like that. He didn't need to take shots at the organization or nothing like that. He could have said, it didn't work out. I'm taking the high road. We're going our separate ways, whatever. But respect to them for giving me the opportunity, and shut his mouth and kept going. He didn't have to go out and take shots at the organization, saying we're dysfunctional and all this stuff. Like, why you got to do that, bro? Just,
Well, it's the only time he's done it. If you notice, there's been plenty of other opportunities, and he's been.
Yeah.
I think he was really hurt that the meeting went down the way it did.
I mean, I feel you, but also like, and that's the other thing, like, we know the meeting wasn't 15 minutes. Like, it was not 15 minutes. It definitely wasn't 3 hours, right? It was probably somewhere in the middle, right? And so that's my thing too, is like, whatever, man. Like, I just want to kick his ass because he's on the opposite team, and
That's it.
because he kind of set a little dirt on the organization. So I hope we stick it to him, because he's got a massive ego, and we've all known that. That's what I liked about him, though. The guy said, "Hey, yo, I'm coming here. That Super Bowl trophy looks long." So like, he's, you know what I mean. But now that you're on the opposite team, fuck that guy. So that's the only reason why I would burn it. But I probably won't. I might trade it in with you for something else. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we can work a trade, man. But all right, Jake, that's pretty good. That's all I got. And also, shout out Bobby. Hope you're feeling better, and can't wait for that Tampa game, man.
Let's go,
Jets.
Jets
All
Johnny
right,
will
Johnny.
be there. Get your tickets. Let's
Yes,
go.
sir. I'll be there.
That's what Aaron Glenn said to Jets Johnny's favorite player, Aaron Rodgers. Peter Castro making demands. Jake, I want the Fields jersey. Well, Peter, your $20 super chat will get you 7 raffle tickets in the Fields jersey I'm giving away at the end of the show. What else? Oh, Devil's Magic gifting a membership. This is Indy Jets, because I said the Pacers have Devil's Magic working for them. How good do you think they don't? Last night, ridiculous. They led for 0.3 seconds of the game last night. They had like 50 turnovers in the first half, and they still won. That was the weirdest NBA Finals game ever. Also, a couple complaints. Why do they not even have NBA Finals on the court anymore? Even on the broadcast, it felt like a regular season game watching that last night. I miss the days when they had the Larry O'Brien trophy on center court in the finals. They don't even have like the finals on the court anymore. That's crazy to me. They have these fakakta courts for the play-in tournament that nobody gives a flying F about. They change the courts and the jerseys, and they try and make it feel different. And for the NBA Finals, it looks like it's a regular season game in February last night. I thought that was ridiculous. There's been a couple of years they haven't done that too, with the YouTube TV logo instead of the Finals logo. It just doesn't feel big, and it should. 24 NY Jets 3-1 got the membership from Devil's Magic Indy Jets. Steven checking in, $10 super chat plus 2. That's 4 tickets for Steven. Fields jersey, I want it. Does that work anymore? LOL. Thanks, Jake. The shows lately have been epic. LFG Jets 10-7. Thank you, Steven. Look, it worked when Peter Castro did it, but he did it as the wheel was spinning. So that's the key. You'd say, I want it, whatever the prize is, as the wheel spins, and apparently you might win. All right, a few calls left, then we will, in fact, do this raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, Daz is on the line. Hello, Daz.
You're right. How's it going?
Daz, how we doing?
Yeah,
do you think you deserve a Little Joey birthday party invite, given the fact you've made plenty of parody songs about Little Joey?
I think that's the reason I do deserve it. To be fair, to be perfectly honest, we get along well. Me and little Joey. To be fair, he's my little special little guy. So I'm glad I finally got an invite to his party. So that was good. Yeah. But yeah, no reason I'm calling Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, obviously happy to be playing him. Really happy it's all finally confirmed. We knew it was happening anyway, but happy it's finally confirmed now. And we know we get to play in week 1. Glad it's not prime time, so that's good.
Well, for you guys in the UK, it's prime time for you guys, right? 6 o'clock, I guess, is kickoff.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is, yeah. But I mean, that's the problem with the Aaron Rodgers thing. We had a lot of like 1 o'clock in the mornings and stuff like that, which weren't ideal, especially when you get up at 1 in the morning to watch him tear his Achilles. So, that's never good when you're off out to work at 5 in the morning after it. So that was always a fun train ride. But happy to. I think it's one of them. Like obviously a lot of people, same old Jets. We're gonna have a problem with this. It's obviously gonna be a loss and stuff like that. We're gonna look like fucking dickheads and stuff. But the thing is, we just have to be new Jets, don't we? We just have to start being the same new Jets and start winning the games that like this. If he comes out, wins this, it's gonna put a lot of confidence in the team. So he needs to go and do it. That's the way I feel about it. And to get it out of the way,
that's so important. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly that.
Change the narrative right away.
Yeah, get that one out of the way nice and early. Get it done. Get a win there. Then we got our 16-1 season, don't we? So
let's go.
Yeah, yeah. 10 probably, but yeah, we got at 16 on it. Yeah, I mean, but obviously, like you say, the more important thing right now is little Joey's party. That's what we need to get out of the way. We need to actually get the invite sent out. Still waiting for mine, like actually to come through the post, but I've not had that yet. I can't RSVP yes or no until it comes through. But I'm just massively excited for that. To be fair, that's well. Tell you what, if we lose every game this season, at least we have little Joey's party to look back on and smile about.
This community rallies around things, and rally around little Joey's been great, so I love it.
Yeah. Little Joey's up there. Alan, fuck you, Alan. Yes. All the way from the UK. No need to be a Patriots fan on this fucking channel. Even the Patriots fan I prefer to Alan at the moment. So, it's fair play, that. It's absolutely fair. Anyway, that's all I've got.
You're the man, Daz. Appreciate you calling in.
See you later. Yeah. All right.
Get the fuck out. An FU to Alan from across the pond. That's when you know. Speaking of guys who can't stand Alan, Black Gypsy's on the line. What's up, Black Gypsy?
Yo, what's up, Jake?
PG.
So, couple things I gotta say. All right, Aaron Rodgers. When it comes to Aaron, like, we owe him a thank you, and that's all we should say. All the shit talking should stop about him. He came here, he did what he was supposed to do. He got hurt.
He tried. He did everything. He took a $35 million pay cut. He wanted to be a Jet. He said the words, "I want to be a Jet." Like that alone, and he wanted to stay a Jet too. That's not what. Like, he was only upset at Glenn because they were firing him. Like, he wanted to stay with the organization. After all the shit, he still wanted to be here.
Still wanted to stay. So all the fans that are saying that we're cucked for liking Rodgers, I like Rodgers. Rodgers is an awesome quarterback, and he's honest. So if he went on Pat McAfee and said some shit, he has the right to. They fucked him over. They got him hurt his first fucking year here. The next year, they fired the coach. It's a shitty organization.
The only thing I'll say is I can't blame the Jets for that. Like, it's a football play. It's just Jet luck that he got hurt,
Tyron Smith was one of the worst.
It was Dwayne Brown. It was
Dwayne Brown. You're right. Yeah. Right.
Another wash tackle we brought in to try and.
It's our fault. It's our fault he got hurt. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it, to make that season not just kill me, and it still does. And then on top of that, like, if we lose to Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Glenn got rid of him, when most of our team wanted Aaron Rodgers to stay, like, that doesn't bode well for our team. Right? That's not the way you want to start the season to the guy that was supposed to be the quarterback, and he comes in and whoops your ass, and then Glenn looks like an asshole. Glenn has to be like, he has to win this game. Of all the games that we're going to play, that first game is the most important game that we're going to play because it really sets the locker room to be like, we're behind Glenn or we're not. Because if they lose to him, and depending on how they lose to him, and if it's Glenn's fault why they lose, that team is going to turn on him. They're going to feel a certain way about him because they wanted Rodgers. I would if I was a player and I wanted my player. And then I have this new coach that comes in and we have Fields. Like Fields, and if we compare the teams, which is the better team, Pittsburgh or the Jets?
I mean,
Pittsburgh.
it's Pittsburgh until proven otherwise. I mean,
Exactly.
they won 10 games last year, and Mike Tomlin's never had a losing record.
So for us to be like, we're going to come in and do this and do that, I love the optimism. I want us to be good. But realistically, Membu and Fasano, if I'm a coach, I'm blowing those two guys up because those two guys do not know how to handle the TJ Watt yet. They have no idea what to do. So like, it's not in our favor to win. Just being realistic. I'm not hating or being like, oh, you're negative. Just being realistic. Like the chances of us winning that game isn't great. We need Aaron Rodgers to play like shit for us to win that game.
Or the Jets just need to play competently. You know, like they're at home. It's only like It's not like they're double-digit underdogs. They're like 3-point underdogs. You're at home. It's early in the year. Crazy things happen in week one, especially with Rodgers in his career. He's not a great week one
The only thing we have going for us is a week one game. If it was anywhere later in the season, it's an automatic loss to me. So I'm 50-50 on that. What's his name? Faria said something about Fields that every other coach has said. He's indecisive. So when it comes to throwing the ball, I have no trust in Fields. I just don't. I need to see him be able to go out and be just be a regular quarterback, not even a great quarterback. Just make the simple passes, do the simple things correctly, and then we can be like Fields. But everyone that's jumping on the Fields wagon, like Fields, I'm like, yo, y'all are nuts. Y'all are nuts. Like setting that expectation can only bring you failure because it's not like he was a great quarterback and he's coming here now and he's never been a great quarterback. He's been at best mid. At best, a mid quarterback.
Well, that was
So,
Darnold, though, too. You know, like that's why you got to hope the coaching is awesome.
Yeah, but
They can run the ball
Darnold was always better than Fields was at passing the ball. Like we can hate Darnold for many things, but Darnold's a better passer of the ball than Fields.
But Darnold can't run like Fields had 1,100 yards in the season, and he was 8-4 in his last 12 starts. I'm not the biggest Fields guy either, but he was the best of what was out there, and there's upside there. If Tanner Engstrom's really good and they could scheme guys open. And all of a sudden, you make it easy for Fields to have one or two reads, Garrett or Mason Taylor. If not, check it down to Breed. Like they got playmakers on this team. They're not devoid of talent. Their identity should be running the hell out of the football. They should be able to do that with the O-line.
For Faria to be in OTAs, and OTAs mean nothing, and say he's indecisive still, I don't think that's going to change for Fields. I think
He's learning
that's
a new
his
offense, though. You know, he's learning a brand new offense.
Your reads are your reads, even in the new offense. Like you go.
You still got to know the play. I'm not judging Fields' processing during OTAs. We'll see how it looks in the summer.
OTA means nothing. The next thing. So Alan said that he's gonna call in September, right? And I want I want a versus when he calls in.
All right.
I'm gonna smoke him. Like I'm waiting for it, dog. The thing that he says about him working with the NFL, right? So I find that hilarious because I've been in this chat just going at Allen, period, just fucking with him for no reason. He says that he works for someone that knows someone that works for the NFL. You don't work for the NFL. You have no affiliations with the NFL, so you should be able to show your face. If you work for someone that has a contract with the NFL, you don't have a contract with the NFL. So your reasoning is pure lies, bro. Tell us what you're really doing, and stop lying because we know you're lying. Like, we know you're lying. It's
Can I
not
tell you what he's really doing, Black Gypsy? You might not
Let
like
me
the
hear it.
answer here, but I'm left with no choice. Alan's already told us what he really is doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing in the chat every day. Like just talking shit for no reason. That's basically all I got. I hope we have a good season. I hope we play great. But everyone, like, bring it down because this is what we do. In the summertime, we are the championships team of the league. We're going to do everything. We're the greatest. And then we go to the season, and it turns out to be shit all the time. This for me is a clean slate, so I'm not going to give them any ups or downs. It's 0-0 for me. Whatever they do, I'll deal with. I'm not expecting Fields to be good because if I expect him to be good and he sucks, I'm going to hate him. You know what I mean? I'm going to hate him.
I like the logic.
I'm going to shit talk him the whole time. Like, oh, you can't even make that pass. Like, and then we got to go back to Rodgers, who can make every pass and had a shitty line, and Fields has a better line and can make the pass. It's like it's Jets all the way through. And the thing that I think bothers me the most, I hope Glenn can change how we move as a team. But the organization of the Jets sucks. It's a joke to the rest of the NFL. Like, that's why we get so many jokes on us, because the things that we do. It's like the Knicks getting rid of Tibbs. It's just the shit that we do. It's just like why would you do that when this is the only time you've seen success? So I hope that we win games. I hope Fields is good. I hope our defense is good. I hope our offensive line can actually block and do something that they haven't done in quite some time. But that's a lot of ifs, and I hope. With a new coach and a new team, it's logical to be like, they're going to suck. So that's what I'm prepared for. Them sucking, a 6-win season. If we do better than that, fuck it. Awesome. Right? That's all I really got. And in conclusion, fuck you, Alan.
Right. Alan, go fuck yourself.
I mean, salient points made by Black Gypsy. You can't say he's wrong for feeling that way about this franchise. I understand where he's coming from. I'm trying to be optimistic, but it's hard. Their win total is 5.5. Ryed checks in with a $10 super chat. It's boosted. It's +2 on all super chat raffle entries and gifted memberships for those tuning in late. I think we're a 6-win team, but a Fields jersey is an essential to add to the closet. Well, if you get a free Fields jersey and he's only on the team for a year as the starter, who cares? So there you go. Ryed, we got you down in the raffle. Last chance here, because I am about to put all the names in ChatGPT to print out so I can put it in the wheel of names at the end of the show here. Joe says, can't wait for training camp and the pads get put on. Amen. Cheeseman checking in saying, Allen is a coward. Once again, another salient point.
Fuck you, Alan.
Cheeseman, thank you very much. Sam with a super chat, +2. So 4 tickets for Sam. Aaron is going to be on the bench. This is a possession game. We win. While they hate for Fields. I don't know if it's hate. It's just not believing hype and just being like, you got to prove it. I don't know if any Jeff fan. How could you hate Justin Fields? Like, he isn't saying anything wrong. He's said all the right things. His teammates like him. Glenn is believing in him. I think it's just having doubts on Fields more than hate. Like, I don't hate Justin Fields, but I never thought he was a franchise quarterback. Anytime I watch him, I just go, yeah, I see the athletic ability, but I don't think he could win enough in the pocket to be that guy. So that's part of it. But if he could be coached up to do a lot of that more, then sure. Ladies and gentlemen, Jets Johnny in the house. It's funny, Jets Johnny and Black Gypsy are on the opposite ends of the spectrum with their Jets takes, but they are aligned in thinking that Allen sucks. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. There's kumbaya on that perspective.
We are mama way.
Jets Johnny in our Fields Daily Raffle and our weekly raffle for 7. He gifted 5 channel memberships. So I'm going to pull up the names of who got them. So you can thank Jets Johnny, Kevin K, Gem Y, the Austrian, Aaron messed up, and Christian A, all receiving channel memberships. Ladies and gentlemen, Allen's long-lost son is on the line. Adam is too cool. Hello, Adam.
I disassociate with him, but Black Gypsy line starts behind me when Allen shows his face on this stream, okay? Line starts behind me. Couple things. Negativity is not for today. Now we know who we're facing week 1. Okay. I also want to say this coaching staff is far more professional as a unit in terms of the head coach and the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator we've had in a while. You think Wilkes doesn't know how to start a season? You think Aaron Glenn's not going to be talking to Bill about how to set the tone week 1, how to prepare for your week 1 opponent? We know who we're going to be facing. We know how he lives and breathes. I guarantee, I'm going to say it right now, I'm going to do Joe Namath, guarantee we're winning week 1. So show up, scream, and let's beat the Steelers.
I love it. I mean, look, the Jets can win this game. Like, there's going to be probably a lot of people that like the Jets in this game. They're getting 3 at home, first game of Rodgers. All the money will be on the Steelers. Like, the sharps will probably be on the Jets, but they got to take into account the SOJ of it all, and that's what concerns me.
There's a lot of refresh, new QB, new coaches. It's not SOJ. SOJ would be repeating with the previous regime. So I'm looking at this as fresh bodies, fresh minds. And honestly, it was so disappointing last year that I think everyone set the bar the right way. They're going to exceed. They're going to win this year. And they're going to, I don't know if they're going to win a million games, but they're going to win week 1. I'm pretty sure they're going to win week 1. I guaranteed it. So there you go. It's out
Adam,
there.
Confident. I love it. By the way,
100%
Jets Johnny,
they're going to win this game. Because
pipe down, baby Allen. That bum ducked me, and I get dibs.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what. We'll flip a coin, Jets Johnny. Actually, Black Gypsy, we might need to flip a D4 or something. We'll figure that out. There might be some other people on Allen's list. But at any rate, I'm excited about this game. I'm excited about the finals. As I was saying before, no lead is safe in the NBA. The only thing that sucks is people should just tune in fourth quarter because obviously the first 3 are meaningless. So I mean, that's the truth. We've been saying it all postseason. No lead is safe. It's true.
But with the Pacers led for 0.3 seconds last night. They were down between 10 and 15 points, but felt like the entire game. Like, it was ridiculous.
Are we even surprised at this point? This happens so much now. So
I know you can't be. It's out of control.
Yeah, but going back to the Jets and Steel, like Fields, you know who operates in silence? Assassins. They operate in silence. They've been very quiet. I think they're seething. I think they have a lot to prove. I think Aaron Glenn wants to set this tone and show that, he's an awesome head coach. I think Fields wants to show up his old team that gave him absolutely no chance to succeed. So when we're talking about the whole, Fields, hasn't been that great. They didn't set him up to succeed in Pittsburgh. They were letting him, basically wait for Russell Wilson to come back. They didn't give him a real shot. And yeah, our offense is going to look a little different. It's going to be a lot more running. We haven't seen that since the last time we went to the playoffs. So buckle up. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Let's go. How about positive Adam? Adam, love it. Good call. Be positive. Why not? It's June 6th. It's Football Friday. Hawaiian Shirt Friday. I'm combining the two here with my alpha choice. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't we do a raffle, shall we? Let's give away a Fields jersey. A Justin Fields jersey, right? All the talks about Rodgers, but we have Fields. You better believe it. All right? If you don't believe it, you might be in concussion protocol like Beast.
And also 1 2. That's what's gonna happen to Rodgers. Right on his back.
All right. I like that. Now let me ask you this, Beast. Jets Chaos is a dear friend of mine. He, I think, would be a great addition to Little Joey's birthday party. Beast. Apparently he's okay. He's on his way to Walmart, he wrote. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, it is time for the wheel to be spun.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Music, please. Oh, yeah. You see that on your screen? That's the Wheel of Champions right there. Hold on. At the buzzer, Smoke Champ just became a channel member. Smoke Champ, we're boosting all memberships +2. So I'm adding your name 3 times. That's what we call elite customer service. And just to be fair, I will shuffle the names again. All right. One lucky Asmaniac is winning a Justin Fields jersey. You got to email me or message me on Discord your size, and I'll send it to you. Nick Shine at the buzzer. Damn it, Nick. I have things to do today. Nick Shine is in our raffle for 4. Anyone else does this, tough luck. I'm taking your money and you're getting nothing. Just kidding. I'm a camel fish, to quote Bobby Midnight. All right, let's give away a Fields jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. And the winner of the jersey is John John, I don't know your first name. I don't know your last name, I mean. But I do know that you are the winner of the Justin Fields jersey. That is the listener who goes by just the name John. Here's an example of one of his super chats. John, congratulations. And I'm just seeing this. Are you kidding me? Bo, you gifted 10? Bo! All right, I'll tell you what. Bo's one of our longest tenured listeners. He's always supporting the show. In honor of Bo, gifting 10. Let's give away another prize right now, shall we? I will give away an item from my merch store. So we'll spin the raffle again. Bo, we're obviously going to get you down for the weekly raffle, but you just missed the wheel, must have been spinning. But John, I see you're in the chat, so please do me a favor, AsmanJake at Gmail, your first, last name, your size for the jersey, and I will get it sent out for you, all right? But now I got to add Bo's name, so hold on. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to just save us some time here. Type out Bo C 10 times. Stand by. The names will be adjusted. Isn't technology great? All right. Here we go. Item from my merch store. You win this, same thing. Message me, tell me the size and what you want. It's time to spin the wheel once again. And the winner of prize number 2 on our show today is J-Boy. Congratulations to J-Boy. You won an item from the JakeAsman.com merch store. So our Fields jersey to listener John. Our item from the merch store. It goes to listener J-Boy, who was in the chat before. Congratulations to J-Boy. Please reach out. If you're a Patreon member, you can message me there or on the Discord. Or you can email me, asmanjake@gmail.com. This afternoon, we'll have another daily raffle prize because I'm not doing shows this weekend, so we'll give people more of a chance to win some cool stuff. On that note, thank you to Nick Faria, who joined us in his weekly spot on the program. You guys were awesome. Thanks to everyone who gifted a membership. If you didn't win, have no fear. You have a chance to win the full-size Namath Clyde Frazier jersey, Kevin Mawai jersey, and Bart Scott jersey next week on the show. We're back this afternoon. Thank you again to all who tuned into the show. We will talk to you guys on the show in a few short hours. Go Jets, everybody. Jets, Jets, Jets.
Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers. Bobby and Charles are squeezing their knockers, taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Taking their shirts off. Bobby and Charles are damn sexy. Damn sexy. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party. Let's Bobby and Charles are hot and sweaty. Hot and sweaty. Let's party. Let's party. Let's party.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah!
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.